Hello and welcome in. I am going to be showing you a complete setup of your Streamlabs OBS, also known as Slobs. Um, Basically, this is what you're going to be roughly looking at when you first open your program and sign into your Twitch. Obviously, I have added a display capture so you can see my screen and a audio input capture so you can hear me. You will, when you originally start, have audio and desktop sounds on here. These are your mixer, so it can show how loud or how quiet your actual source is. For instance, on my input source right now, if I click this little settings wheel, you'll see I've got two filters. The filters, as you can see on here, are gain and noise suppression. The gain allows you to increase your volume if you are a little bit quiet. However, this can cause static on your mic, hence why I have the noise suppression as well, which allows me to keep it within a set range so that it's not picking up exactly everything else that I am doing. So yes, what you will see is that's not the right one. On here you will have desktop and mic automatic sounds. What you want to go and do is mute those and then click on the setting wheels and hide. So if I hide, you've got these. I will always say mute the automatic ones that are in there and just click on the setting wheel and hide them both. This is so you don't get confused, as sometimes Streamlabs can set default ones. I prefer to do it via my own input and output audios. So for instance, if I was to actually use this on a scene, I would have renamed this to my mic input, as an audio input source is what you're going to be speaking through. And to add one of those, or a display capture to display the window that you want people to see, you simply, on the sources tab, click the plus. Now this will pop up this window. What you are going to want first and foremost is an audio input, which is your mic. It will tell you here what they're for, and an audio output. The audio output is your desktop audio. So I'm going to go ahead and add an audio output. So now I'm going to change that to desktop sound, and then you have a drop down. If you're like me and have multiple different things that you can pick from, this is how it will look. For my own sake, I do prefer using, my what's labelled as speakers, which is actually my headset. So I click on there and I click done. This will allow the stream to hear anything that is on my desktop, playing via my desktop. So if I just open up Pretzel Rocks and play some music for you, when it decides to load, if I change the audio input on my PC to the speakers, you will see that it is now coming through onto the recording. need to know how loud and how quiet it is. So yes, that is basically how you get your audio sounds for alerts and stuff that are going to be playing via this program here to play on your stream. Now, this obviously is what I've labelled as a starting screen. So the majority of you will have a overlay or some type of image that you put up to start your screen that's got starting soon or similar effects to that. So what you will want to do, depending on the image, depends on what you're going to want. However, if you have got just a solid image in your files, then it would be image, and it can be any of these files, and then you simply pick that and adjust it to size. However, if you've got a media source file, so one that's got animation in, you would select this. So if I go ahead and select that and select starting soon, add, and then you will see it pops up this. First of all, you're going to want to loop it so that it continues to loop the video. And then you go ahead and browse files and select the video that you're going to want to use. So for instance, this is one that I set up for a friend of mine, and as you can see, that's his emblem that I did for him. And so this is just like an animated sequence that you can put at the start of your screen. Normally you would have starting soon on there or stuff like that. However, if you do not have that particular thing, and by the way, as you can tell from the fact that this already adjusted screen, I've already got a box adjusted to it. Normally there will pop up something like this, and then you simply just click and drag to the right size that you want to capture. You can actually lock these in place so you cannot move the image. So for instance, what I'm going to show you now is if I move this, if I change this a little bit, you can see the background here. So now if I move the display capture above, well, the starting soon below the display capture, you will no longer see it. However, you can see where the outline of the box is. So for purpose of anything like that that you want above the background that you're going to be capturing, this is what you would want it to be above the actual display you're trying to capture. So in terms of deleting, you can click, as long as it's highlighted, you can click the minus and remove, or you can right click on your mouse after clicking on it and come up and remove or rename it here. If you were to start a new scene, you would want to start here. So I like going in order of what I'm going to be doing. So you would have the starting screen, and then you would go to a live scene, which would be capturing your gameplay. As you can see there, when I go onto the live scene, you will not be able to hear me or see anything, as I do not have my display capture allowing me to capture my window. So while I've showed you how to add a live scene, I am going to tell you what you need to do on this screen here. So basically what you will do is, first and foremost, while on the live scene, you will select new source, and you're going to want to add your input, and you will just click this one as you have already set it up on your starting. So you would add that, which would then give you two input sources. However, I don't want two input sources on this, so I'm going to delete this one and go back to using the original one. But obviously that would input one input source onto your live. Then you are going to want to input your desktop sound as well through the same process of selecting audio output, add, and then use the existing source. Now, when you are adding multiple browser sources, which is where I'm going to go next for purposes of overlays such as alert widgets, or if you are using a pre-set up sequence of overlay transitions, for instance, like you're starting your live and everything like that via stream elements is one that I use on my personal one, which I can show you over here by just swapping to my actual streaming one. So as you will see on my actual streaming one, I have a lot of browser sources. However, if you look, the webcam overlay and the actual top overlay where it's saying my recent subscribers and whatnot, that is animated, that is actually via stream elements. So if I come down here, this, as you see, this whole window is done via stream elements. The same as my starting soon and my be right back and my intermission, as well as my end. I do not know why my video cut out then. However, I am going to try and splice the starting of this with where it ended, and then we can get back into it. Basically, yes, so as you've seen from the last video, all my overlays are done via a web browser overlay from Stream Elements. So, for instance, what you are going to want to do for anyone who has that set up would be plus a browser source. Now, these are going to be useful for if you use external bots for your follow, host, and everything like that alerts. So basically what you would do is you would rename this whatever it's going to be. So for instance on this screen it would be starting soon overlay stream elements. If you are using the stream elements that the overlays this is. So what you're going to be presented with is this. Now what you will want to do is go and get the overlay link, which I will quickly go and do for the ones that I use and have set up. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to minimize this and show you if my stream would, my PC would actually load the site. There we go. So I'm going to swap over and show you the other screen, which I believe is display 1. Yes, it is. So what you're seeing here, let me just, so you're going to see these. Now obviously I have alerts set up anyway, These are my alert personal overlay settings. However, you've got a themes gallery on here which allows you to pick overlays and stuff that you want to set on your stream. I've already picked one and edited them and everything like that. So if I go into the starting soon one and edit, you will see that I've got all this set up. So what I'm going to do is come here and copy the overlay Earl. So once you've got that copied, you want to go back to your Streamlabs, and I am going to swap back over to the Streamlabs so you can see what I do. So you're going to want to reopen this. So once this is reopened, you will see that you've got to erase this. Once that is erased, you want to press Ctrl V on your keyboard, because you cannot just right click and paste. So once that is done, you will see that it will bring it up here. And if I can stretch it to where I want it. You're going to want to stretch it pretty big. Now, as you can see, it's not completely set to size, and that is because when on here is different to the size it is set within Streamlabs OBS, within Stream Elements. Sorry. So I think it's set to 1080. I can't actually remember myself, but basically you wouldn't adjust it through here anyway. What you do is you adjust this through Stream Elements itself to get it to fit where you want it. In other words, so that it looks like my other stream scenes, so that it would look like this. You do this via the Stream Element side itself, and you get it to fit in. So we're going to swap back over to the other scene now. And we're going to delete this. So yeah, that is how you would add a external overlay. Now I will show you that Streamlabs themselves do offer free overlays. You do not need Prime with Streamlabs OBS. Although they do make you feel like you need it, it is an add-on. You do not need it. That was the wrong one. So what we're going to do, we're going to go back to display 1. So on here, you will notice I've logged into my Streamlabs dashboard via the browser. You're going to want to come to Stream Overlays. Once here, you will see all this, and you will see a lot of them are Prime only. What you want to do is type in the search bar free, and it will come up with the ones that are free to you. So then, yes, not all of them are going to be brilliant because they are free, but you can select one that you like the look of. So, for instance, for simplicity, I am going to use this one here. It's minimalistic, it's nice and smooth and clear. So what you're going to want to click is install. So what you're going to have noticed is that it's installed everything and automatically selected sources and whatnot. So this is my live scene. I'm going to drag that to the below the starting soon. If I click on the starting soon, you will see I've got a starting soon. See, now I don't know whether you can see any of this because we was on a different there we go. So if I go back to display capture and go back to display 4. So now we're on display 4. What has happened is it has automatically added that scene here. So what we're going to do, we're going to go and show you what it's done. So during the install process, it has automatically installed everything. As you can see, it's even selected my camera and sized it to fit. I have my camera faced away from me right now because I don't want my face on cam, and I use a camera overlay that doesn't show my face. So this is the starting soon. You have not got obviously all your alerts and everything automatically added on, but you do have an alert box, so I'm guessing they're built into the overlay itself. And you have a be right back screen as well. However, I have just noticed that none of those from the looks have a oh, that's right, because it's automatically here. So these, as you will notice, it's automatically actually added the mic and desktop audio here and undone them from being hidden. So as you can see, I would normally go and mute these and start from adding the stuff that I want in here. But as you can see, this is basically the layout that you're going to have. If I add a display capture now, so you can see what I'm actually talking about. So I've added a display capture. So you can see down here they've automatically added this, they've automatically added all these, and as you could see, if I hide the display capture, you've got all the tattoo sub and everything like that right down there, recent sub, recent follows, whatnot. See, to get rid of those, what you would want to do is just make them invisible. So you can scroll down here, make the panels go away, and then if I, there you go, it looks a little bit cleaner now, and we've obviously missed one. So if I do, there we go. So it looks a lot cleaner. You've got a chat box on the side. I'm guessing that is a chat box. Yes, that is your chat box on the side. So it has automatically added these things. And as you can see in Streamlabs, sorry, you will have this. So that is how to add a Streamlabs overlay straight from Streamlabs themselves. They do have some decent ones. If you have Prime, you will have access to a lot better ones, more animated ones, and so on and so forth. However, Prime is not necessary to get them. It will automatically add all your donor and latest alerts and everything like that onto the actual scene itself. The same as what the stream elements overlays will do as well. They are all built into that overlay. However, a Streamlabs overlay for Streamlabs OBS is a lot easier because it basically sets up a lot of it itself for you. However, obviously, when you go with stream elements, you have to adjust stuff to get the screen to fit properly. Other than that, there is not much else I can show you, unless you really want to go in depth with other stuff. Like, for instance, if I was to add anything onto here, I'd have to add my Mix It Up bot overlays, as they're the alert system that I use, and as well as the channel point stuff that I've got. So you'll notice I've got like sounds and stuff that pops up on my stream for all of these, which is done through Triggerfire. I'd have to go and get the link from Triggerfire website for the overlay sounds and add a browser source, which I would then call Triggerfire, add, and then post in here, and all of these would work then. As well as I would do the same for my bots, for the alerts to work from them, so on and so forth. Other than that, I can't think of anything else to add to this. If you are still struggling, don't hesitate to drop a comment and or message me personally if you do know me, and I will help out as much as I can. Bye bye now.